Hello viewers, welcome to our lecture series on contemporary issues in business and management. And in today's lecture, we'll talk about understanding the evolution of marketing 1.0 to 5.0. So in this very lecture of mine, I'll be telling you about the way marketing has evolved from 1.0 to 5.0. This 1.0 and 5.0, they are actually showing us a different versions of marketing's evolution, the way it has evolved, the way we have got the present day's marketing in its own shape, design and structure. So just to give you a brief about what exactly marketing is, as we all know that marketing means staying relevant in the marketplace. So as long as you are relevant in the marketplace, your customers are going to support you, your customers are going to accept you, they are ready to take up your products and services in a desired manner. So you have to stay relevant, and if you are really willing to stay relevant, you have to be evolving. And this is the reason why we have got the different variants of marketing in different time zones. So marketing is actually defined as a science and art. It is science because it is very scientific in terms of cause and effect relationship, and it is also an art because it is telling us the best way of performing our own activities. So it is, when we combine it together, it is the science and art of exploring, creating and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target market. And while doing so, we can't ignore the profitability, because profit is actually the lifeblood of a business. Without profit, we can't survive. So whatever activities we are performing, at the center of it is the survival, that is, we need profit to survive in long run. So marketing actually identifies unfulfilled needs and desires. You can find that what are the desires and needs which nobody else could cater in the recent past, and that becomes a gray area for us, that becomes a very fertile area for us to give our best. Because if nobody else has given attention to that need or desire, then of course that is an area where you can develop an expertise and you can satisfy your customers. So marketing actually identifies unfulfilled needs and desires. Some people ask that do you think that marketers are going to create needs? Answer is no, they are not there to create needs, they are there to cater to those needs which are latent. So at times those needs are, since they are not taken care of, they are not on the surface, the customers don't even think that any marketer is going to cater to those requirements. But yes, of course, in that way we can say that marketers can create needs also. They can bring those needs which were latent to the fore, to the front, where the customers can actually think of having such kind of products which can cater to those needs and desires. So in nutshell, I would say that marketing is actually defined, it defines, it measures, it quantifies the size of the identified market and the profit potential. So it not only defines, measures and quantifies the size of market, but also it tells us about the profit potential, that to what extent you can gain profit. It pinpoints which segment the company is capable of serving best, and it also designs and promotes the appropriate products and services. So my dear learners, when we are talking about evolution of marketing, we have to understand that it is changing with the time. So with the passage of time, we are finding a new variant of marketing, marketing in a different color, marketing in a different shape, marketing in a different positioning style. So the concentration of marketing has actually altered over a time period, or you can say it keeps on changing. And in evolution of marketing, the change is the only thing which is permanent. Everything else is temporary, but change is the only thing which is permanent. So marketing actually progressed from a commodity focus to an institutional focus, and then to a functional focus, and eventually, if you ask me, I would say that it is, after crossing the managerial focus, it is finally, it has reached to a level which is called as social focus. So without paying heed to the societal needs, you can't survive for the long. So, if you talk about sustainable marketing practices, I would say that yes, it is the social focus which will make you sustainable, which will actually make you feel good in the market, which will actually make you feel desired in the market, most sought after company in a market or brand in a market. So, at its core, if you ask me that what is the crux of this entire evolution of marketing, at its core, marketing actually aims to match a company's products and services to the needs of the customers. So, you have to actually match your bundle of utilities, your offerings to that of your customers' needs. So, whatever we are offering, that must match with what my customers want. Then only we can find a synthesis between the two, then only we can find a match between the two, that whatever they were expecting, the same we are performing, and that would result into the satisfaction of the customers. So, my dear learners, when we talk about the primary goal of any business, of course it is profit. Nobody would deny that without profit we will be able to survive. So, profit is actually the primary goal of any business, but the way of earning that profit can be different. So, marketing says that we are going to make profit, but the way is profit through customer satisfaction. So, marketing is fundamentally a collaboration between marketers and consumers. They both are actually crafting and drafting the way the product is being designed and distributed. So, it actually compels marketers to decide on production of consequential commodities and expertise, and then sell them at a reasonable prices. Because if your price is reasonable, customer has no problem in making payment. So, you have to price those bundle of utilities at reasonable prices, and after doing the consultation of the profile of a market segment. So, whichever market segment you have targeted for yourself, once you have gone for segmentation, targeting, then you have to position yourself that since this segment is having this much of payment potential, accordingly I would be pricing my product, accordingly I would decide the reasonableness of the price which I am going to charge. So, of course, the segment can't be ignored. We have to keep in mind to which segment we are going to offer our products or services. So, the definitions of marketing have evolved vastly, with each one highlighting a different aspect of this very wider concept which is called as marketing. Some people think that marketers are using jargons. No, marketing is such an evolutionary or revolutionary domain where without evolving, without changing with the time, without staying relevant in the marketplace, you can't survive. So, the definition which we got 20 years back, with that definition we can't survive today. So, even the definition of marketing is changing with the passage of time. So, the 7 main component, or what you call as factors of marketing, which are actually known as the P's. When we call them as an acronym, we have been calling them 4 P's, then we got 5 P's, and eventually now we are having 7 P's. Even beyond 7 P's, we have some more additions to it. If I talk about the 4 P's, they were product, price, place, promotion, and eventually we got some more additions to it. We got packaging also added to it, then positioning, and in case of services we got people also to be the significant part of the key factors of marketing. So, with these resources or tools for catering to the requirement of the customers, marketers are going in the market and they are trying to satisfy the needs of the customers with their bundle of utilities. So, 7 P's of marketing can be visualized from this diagram, where we are having product, price, place, promotion, packaging, and eventually the people. So, in case of services, we have got some more additions, but yes, these 7 P's are there in front of us when we talk about the key components of marketing mix. If we look at the timeline, the way this marketing has evolved, this evolution of marketing from marketing 1.0 to then 3.0, 4.0 and 5.0. I'll be telling you briefly about each and every segment of this timeline, that when did we start with the timeline with this marketing 1.0, what was there, what was the scenario of marketers and customers when we started evolving as marketing 1.0. And even while standing at market 5.0, we are still progressing towards marketing 6.0. So the journey is not ending here. It's a never ending process, and it will keep on adding some more feathers in its cap, and you would find the different changes into the marketing in its evolution. So in its evolution, marketing encompasses what market wants, and all these things, they focus on making it relevant in the marketplace. So let me start with the first variant of marketing 1.0. So the very first question which comes to our mind is that to which time zone we should assign that this era, this year belong to marketing 1.0. So roughly you can say that in the year in 1930s we got the marketing 1.0 in its existence. So it was a concept that first emerged in the year 1930, and it is actually the first stage of marketing, which consisted of several models. We got production concept, we got product concept, we got selling, then marketing, and there are resources to it, there are different references to it. These are the cited one. I'm just quoting this timeline from the research, from the research papers which are published in different journals. So they actually assign, they actually have an agreement that yes, marketing 1.0 can be assigned to the year 1930. So it can be 1931, 32, but yes, in that time zone only it started. At that time, what was the key objective of marketing? Now we have to go back in that timeline. We have to think that yes, what was there in marketing 1.0, because we are in the time zone where marketing is actually standing at 5.0. So at that point of time in marketing 1.0, the key objective of this stage was to sell products. Marketers actually confined all their actions, all their plans and strategies to one objective, that we have to maximize our sales. We have to sell our products. Whatever we have produced, we have to sell it to the customers. So it is actually the most basic, you can say, the most basic and fundamental phase of marketing. If you have to understand marketing from scratch, start from marketing 1.0. Why do we call it the most basic? Because it is the point where the main focus of marketing actually relied on the product and its features. And when we study this particular segment, this particular stage of marketing, we are very often exposed to a term called marketing myopia, where somehow we are ignoring the need of the customers and trying to add some more features to the products, making the product more attractive without paying heed to what my customer wants, without even asking to you that what exactly you want. I am trying to develop a product which actually to my mind is going to be the excellent one. So at that point of time, marketers used to think whatever we have produced, that is going to be bought by the customers. So their focus was on product and its features, and we very often we say that it is the industrial revolution which actually proved to be the perfect catalyst for the expansion of marketing 1.0. It was the industrial revolution which actually made this marketing a domain where we started thinking of offering the best of products and services to the customers. So the credit goes to industrial revolution. It actually provided a situation where there was a boom in the needs of the consumers, and in this way there was a drastic increase at two fronts. One is the demand for the product, and the second is the competition among the businesses. So both had actually increased, demand on the one side, and on the other side, since demand is increasing, more and more people started entering into the business. So the competition also became very intense, and the entire game started becoming very interesting. So this actually provided a need for marketing. So marketing actually originated from the industrial revolution, where more and more entrants started entering into the market. So competition started getting intense, and of course once the competition is intense, everybody would try to offer their best, and here came the role of USP, that is called unique selling proposition, which means we have to differentiate ourselves from that of our competitors. So marketing here relied on emphasizing and focusing on USP, and this USP is actually a tool to distinguish its product from that of their competitors. If you ask me to define USP, I would say it is just like having a different name of ours. Like suppose if we are 60 students in a class, so in our class every student has a different name. So that name is the main distinguisher with which a teacher can differentiate one student from that of another. It can be roll number also. But of course, if we are taking you by name, taking all students by name, we can make a distinction among all the students that yes, this is Mr. X, this is Mr. Y, this is Miss Z. So in that way we can differentiate. Likewise, in case of marketing also, we can have a unique selling proposition with which we can distinguish, we can differentiate our products with that of our competitors. So at that point of time, what marketers did, they focused on the functional aspect of the products in order to sell the products to the customers. So their entire focus was on the functionality, and since their core focus was to address the immediate need of the customers without considering the aesthetic value, so they planned everything accordingly. The distribution of the product was actually done by traditional channels. For instance, at that time for advertisement we had television and radio for that particular advertisement, and here it is noteworthy that its message was unidirectional. At that point of time, whatever messages marketers were disseminating, that was unidirectional in nature, because it does not provide any scope of giving a feedback, either accepting or giving, and the element of measurement were very few and variable. So, and this I am not saying, this is actually being said by most of the researchers. They have actually found evidences of that at that point of time there was no scope of having a feedback. So it is with the passage of time we are growing more and more intimate to the customers. We have the opportunity to communicate with them. So the journey actually, if we look at marketing 1.0 post World War II, that is 1950s, marketing was focused on product life cycle. That is, a product has to go through the different stages of its life, just like we have to go through the different stages of our life. So at that point of time, tools like brand image, marketing segmentations, they were prominently used during this stage. And when we come to the year 1960s, it started growing. Marketing started becoming more and more mature, and this led to the development of 4 P's of marketing, that is product, price, place, promotion. We started talking about marketing mix, and all this facilitated more effective segmentation and targeting, and it actually paved the way for the second stage of marketing. Since the changes were very prominent, so we decided that yes, it is no more marketing 1.0, we have evolved drastically, we have changed drastically, so let us call it marketing 2.0. So in this way, when we started our journey of marketing 1.0, where we were using the traditional tools of communicating to the customers, we had traditional media of advertisement, we have been focusing on the product only, that whatever products we are offering, that should have different features, and from that we started changing ourselves. We started talking about marketing mix. We started talking about distributing the products through different other modes. So prompt advancement in technology, and here the credit goes to the LPG, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization. it actually led to a modification in the social and business life. Here, my dear learners, I would say that the credit goes to a larger extent, it goes to globalization only. Globalization actually made the entire world to be a global village. We found the world to be flat, and it actually eliminated the gaps, across the countries. So the economic conditions and the demand for the goods in the market actually enhanced the purchasing power. People started having more and more purchasing power, and here came the role of combination. Combination of what? Combination of Web 2.0 technology with the marketing practices. When we combine these marketing practices with the power of technology, it actually resulted in the commencement of marketing 2.0. And marketing 2.0 is actually, if I have to define, I would say it is the utilization of Web 2.0. So it is the information technology which has actually given this marketing a new face, a new name, which is called as marketing 2.0. So the collaborative resources are there, and they offer open interactive communication channels between the consumers and business. So this is the core element which has actually eliminated the gap between the consumers and the business. So our customers are becoming more and more open to us. They can have their own say with us, and likewise we can also communicate to them that yes, this is the product we are offering, these are the changes we have made to the existing product. So this all this actually paved the way of marketing 2.0, and it introduced a new model of information system which actually linked the customers to the businesses in a much more what you call as efficient and effective manner. It started with the customers and introduced the Web 2.0 tools. If you ask me about Web 2.0 tools, actually it includes WordPress at the very beginning, then Facebook, then YouTube, Wikipedia, Investopedia, and many other resources. So we got the social media platforms here. The credit goes to social media platforms as well, which were increasingly used by marketers to communicate to their customers. So if we look at this entire exercise, marketing 2.0, the credit goes to information system for bringing marketing, for transforming marketing 1.0 to marketing 2.0. So here we have to understand that the collection of data is playing a significant role. Whatever information you are going to collect through the different instruments of Web 2.0, the businesses collected and they systematically organize the data. And there are certain steps to be followed when you are collecting such data. When they were collecting those data, like they had to gather information, database, they have to pre-process, then process, and after processing the data you have to classify that whether which part of data is useful for me, and then useful information is being extracted so that the information goes through all the stages and it reaches the marketing manager, where it is utilized for formulating their strategies and implementing it in order to satisfy the needs of the customers. So in this way, my dear learners, we can say that Web 2.0 actually was at the back of this marketing 2.0, which actually this Web 2.0 actually gave birth to marketing 2.0. So in due course of our discussion, I will be telling you about the different other variants of marketing in the next lecture of mine. I hope you must have understood marketing 1.0 and marketing 2.0 with this very lecture of mine. Thank you so much.